Hello everybody, it's Nim, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are back in Planet Coaster. Last week I uploaded my first Planet Coaster video, and I have to say, it was pretty well received. A lot of people watched it. Very happy with that, it means people like it, so I can continue with it. And today, we are building something special. Today we are building our first coaster. Now, bear in mind, this is the first coaster I am ever building. Like, ever. Seriously, I never played Planet Coaster before last week, so, you know, go easy on me. I know some parts of it are weird, but I have a design. I will put mine design on screen. Like, I know I forgot last week, but I will do it this week for sure. I will put my design of the station and of the coaster on screen right now. So make sure you see that, and otherwise blame me in the comments. That's completely fine as well. So for this coaster, which you probably saw by the title, it is named the Witch Flight. Naturally, it's about a witch who's flying the... I'm sorry, this is a very lame name for a coaster. The idea is that this witch lives here in this castle, and this is a good witch, you know, she's nice and all that stuff. And she lives here, and she lives in the woods, and she loves mushrooms, so there are a lot of mushrooms outside. And basically, it's just her everyday routine. So she gets up on a broomstick, and she flies away, and flies. And then she goes through a cave with diamonds where she gets stuff, and then she gets through the woods, and then she makes her potions, and then she's back home. And she basically does that every single day. So that was the idea. It took me so long to actually build this because I have no clue how most of the building mechanics work in this game, because it's quite different than Planet Zoo. So I had to get completely used to that, but I think I managed in the end. And I do think that this actually looks pretty darn similar to the building that I designed in my mind. And I'm really happy with that. You know, and saying this, I can with confidence say that I am probably going to enjoy Planet Coaster a lot. And that's building mechanics, it's something I have to get used to, but I do think I will manage it. Now, you will see a lot of cutting here, especially when building the actual home, because it was very difficult for me to actually get it right. Just with the simple fact that I didn't really understand the mechanics, and I couldn't find some of the roof pieces. Like I said last time, I have a feeling some of the roof pieces are missing. I don't know why or how, but it's just a feeling I have. Or maybe I'm not looking correctly, that's also a very likely possibility. So me scrolling through the catalog, I cut most of that out, so don't worry about that. We are gonna put a lot of windows on this little cottage. And in the end, this cottage might be the favorite part of this entire park. And I will say, that's very early on to say, because basically this in the entrance is the entire park at the moment. But I love this so much, especially with the lightning. I feel like the lightning it really sets the mood for this entire ride. So I have done my best with lightning all over the world, and in the end we are actually going to ride the coaster at day and at night. And I would really much like to tell you guys what kind of coaster I used, except that I totally didn't pay attention to that. I just picked one where the carts looked fun. And you will see that once we are building the coaster, I actually came into quite a bit of problems. But we will discuss that later. Right now we are doing the inside, so I wanted to, which is very stupid actually. Before I built the entire coaster, I wanted to do the station first, and what I probably should have done is build the entire coaster and then build the station and the rest of the, you know, the actual theming of the coaster. But do the coaster first, which was kind of stupid for me. But you know what, that is completely my fault. We are just theming this, and right now I wanted this to look like the inside of the witch's home. So we are going to give it like this kettle. And I believe a lot of the stuff from here came actually from the Ghostbusters pack. I actually bought all the packs at once, so I don't really know what is from what pack. My apologies for that. I do know that you're gonna need a lot of packs for this. Just bear that in mind. But I'm guessing everyone has like almost all the packs now. I think. I hope. I'm pretty sure. So we are just going to decorate it like and I feel like it really looks homey in here. I found this fireplace and I was like, ooh, we need to add this. So we are going to remove in a minute that big thing. I don't even know what it was. And then we are adding that fireplace and we are going to add a little bit of woods in there with a little fire. And it looks really, really, really comfortable. I mean, even if I say so myself. And we are about done with the inside, I think. I think we are going to add a table. Oh yeah, I was thinking of adding some cobwebs, but I was like, yeah, you know what? It doesn't really need to be. What I'm noticing now is that there aren't actually any windows inside here, which is kind of weird because they are on the outside. Same as the door. It's just gone. I don't know how or why, but it does the same in Planet Zoo. Like windows and doors are mostly for exterior, don't really show on the inside, which is fine as well. Like, doesn't really bother me. Yeah, here we are going to the exterior of the home. Now, at this point, I was like, you know what, I'm going to make it a good witch cottage. I was thinking of maybe making it an evil witch cottage, but it looked way too nice for that. I mean, let's be honest. This looks fairy tales, like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So what I'm thinking of like right now, I didn't think that when I was building it, but when I'm looking back at it, I'm just like, oh yeah, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I see it. It's obvious. Didn't think about that when I was building it though. Otherwise I could have used pictures of that as well, but then again, I had my own design. And I feel like my design is actually pretty darn good. Yeah, I put the design in already, but if you like, if you pause it and you try to read it, it's partly English, partly Dutch, because I'm just writing very quickly. So I usually write in English and sometimes I can't remember a word because my mind is like all over the place. I just go, oh, whatever, I just write it in Dutch, whatever. Like, I don't want to look up words when I'm in the zone of designing. Just bear that in mind. Oh yeah, because of those starry panels, I also got the idea for my next coaster, but that will be still a surprise. You'll have to wait for next week for that. Oh yes, and those little wheels, I felt like every single village always has them, so I added them naturally, and they look really cute. So here we are making sure that the queue looks nice. We are setting the scene. We're making sure that you have this little bit of water, where the witch is like getting her water off, even though she has a well like on the other side, but maybe she's doing her laundry in here, who knows. And we are gonna search the perfect fence, and we are actually gonna go for this one. And it looks really nice. Now obviously I didn't show you guys all the fencing because, you know, that is gonna take very long and we ain't got time for that, like we don't. This video is already 26 minutes, which is quite long, I have to be honest. Oh yes, and here I am making my mushrooms. I thought it was really cleverly thought. Like, I saw all those basic shapes and I was like, wait, I'm gonna make a mushroom. And those mushrooms will be perfect for the witch. So we are going to place them all over. And you will also see them in the ride, actually. And while I have your guys' attention, if you can give any feedback, like with building or the actual ride itself, please let me know in the comments. Like, I'm eager to learn. I don't know a lot about Planet Coaster, and I feel like I've said that so many times by now, but I really don't know a lot about Planet Coaster, and I would like to learn more about it because, you know, I'm very eager and I want to learn very much, and I'm kind of a know-it-all, but whatever. So if you guys have any tips or like tops, that could be as well, like things that you like, you can say that as well. I mean, people need compliments, so feel free to do so. Let me know in the comments down below, and while you're down there you can, you know, hit subscribe because I'm an awesome content creator, of course, and naturally the best in business, etc, etc. No, but for real, if you would subscribe, that would be amazing. Anyways, back to the video. So here we're just adding some ivy and some grass because it looks pretty bland. Like the cottage, it was there and it looked like a cottage, but it was not finished. In order to be finished, it would need a lot more details. So I feel like those, like the ivy and those other flowers, which I don't remember the name of, they really make it look finished. And we are going to do that like on every single bit of this home, like front, back, sides, everywhere, just to make sure that it's actually cohesive, even on the top level, because we want to make sure that it actually looks fitting and it looks where it belongs, and not suddenly like weird out of place. that you have like a part of the coaster where isn't any ivy or other plants on the roof, because that would be weird. I mean, I don't know a lot about Planet Coaster, but I know how to theme something and I know how to make something look cohesive. And you know, you do that by being random, but also not random. Now, before you guys say anything, in a minute we are going to have to break down some of the cottage because the coaster couldn't actually leave the station. And that's why I said that I should probably build the coaster first before doing anything else. But hey, I've learned that for the next time. For next time I'm gonna build the coaster first. And then I'm going to create everything else, and that's just the way that we're gonna do it. And probably next time I will still do it the other way around, because I'm not very easy with... Oh, I don't want to say that. Like, in Dutch you have a saying for it, but I can't come up with the English word for the saying. So, you know, whatever. Oh yeah, I love the way it looks. It looks so fairy tale-like. I'm actually so happy with it. My initial thought though was to have like the exit queue on this side of the park, but I couldn't make that happen because I'm a noob and I didn't really know how. But you know what? That's not important. Ah yeah, and here's my collection of plants, which naturally we are going to bring over to the entire park. We're just gonna leave them at the entrance, and then when we need plants, we're just gonna get it from there because they have all the special swatches and they look really nice. And in the end, the way that all the plants look, I am so happy with it, and it looks so magical. I can't really say anything else for it. And I am already in love with the way that this theme park looks. It looks so cute and I am so happy with it. And it's just really amazing. I'm happy. And you can probably hear that by the sound of my voice as well. I'm actually really glad with the way it looks. Also with the rock works, I think these are the alpine rocks, and the other rocks, I know they're black in the catalog, but they don't really look as black in real life. And I don't really know what the rock name is, but they look really good matched together. And that's probably what I'm gonna do, because you know, all those rocks together, that doesn't look good. You need like 2 or 3 different types of rocks, and that's it, because otherwise it gets way too busy and it doesn't look natural anymore. I mean, go look at rocks in your own surroundings. The rocks have all the colors of the rainbow. No, they have one main color and maybe a few slight variations on that. But you don't have like blue rocks mixed with red rocks in one rock. It's very, very rare. Like, I have never seen that, so I'm quite confident it doesn't exist. Now, of course, there will be people telling me, well, it actually does exist. Well, good for you. Bravo, get a sticker or something. I don't know. We are almost finishing up this queue area though, and I have to say it looks very nice. If this was a theme park and I was standing in queue for this line, I totally wouldn't mind standing in queue for a very long time. Just because it looks so nice. It looks really nice and I'm really happy with it. Really quite happy with it. And I can't express that enough, but I'm really quite happy with the way it looks. So with all the trees, I wanted to make it look like it was really in a forest. And I think I did that quite good. Yes, here we are putting the final details on the cottage, because I realized that we actually need those hanging plants here as well. And it really annoys me that I can't remember what they're called. Okay, if anyone knows, let me know in the comments down below, because I can't stand it and I need to know what they're called. So here we are building the coaster. I put some of it in, but I already don't know how to build coasters. So I'm gonna watch a few videos on that and make sure that I actually know how to do it. Because, you know, I can read tips, but I really don't want to. I don't want to. So I believe this is gonna go on for a while, because I was like looking and figuring it out, and then I didn't understand it, and then I thought that I managed it, so I put like normal track here. And then I realized, obviously, me with my stupid head, I just was like, oh yeah, well, it goes up and then, you know, it suddenly has the power to go. And then when I put a test card in there, I realized, wait, this card is not going anywhere because obviously it has no power. So that was kind of dumb of me. So then I had to change the entire bit. But you will see me doing the terraforming already to create where the coaster is actually going. So here we are also adding some loops, and we are going to add these loops in the end as well. I would say, oh, I made everything custom. I didn't, as you can see. I like chose the loops that I wanted, but I am going to try to create some more of my own because I just didn't know how to do it. I'm sorry. I didn't know. And that's fine, like sometimes it's okay not to know. I just, messing with the coaster. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that recently got into Planet Coaster and doesn't know how it works. Like, I can't be the only one. But I have to say, if I saw this in a theme park, I would be like, wow, man, I'm riding this. I love coasters, like the more extreme the better. Like, absolutely love it. So it's only natural that I started playing this game, and I'm just looking at myself like fiddling with these mechanics, and I'm like, oh man, how awful. And at this point I still didn't realize, I should probably test it. And then suddenly I was like, wait, I should test it before I completely finish it. And it's a good thing that I did that, because it worked absolutely insane. So here you can see me actually, I tested it and now I'm adding some more of it. And this worked a lot better, like a lot. We are gonna put some tilts in there. In the end, I'm actually not really happy that I did that, because it prevented me from adding blocked sections, because the entire ride is actually curved, and apparently block sections can only be added on straight track parts. So this coaster can only ride one card, because I couldn't figure out how to actually do it. And that is all on me. I am well aware of that, and I take full responsibility for that as well. But then again, it's my coaster, and if you want to stand in line for it, well, go stand in line for it. So at a certain point, there were actually like 600 guests in this park when I was testing it, and they were all like, oh yes, I'm going to ride this roller coaster. And then they all stood in line, and they were like, oh, well, this is taking way too long, I'm leaving. And I was like, well, it was almost your turn. Don't be crazy, just, stay there and be there. But whatever. So here we are adding more mushrooms. I was like, wait, I added mushrooms in the beginning. I need to be consistent with theming. We are going to add some more mushrooms here. So this will be Mushroom Island. I don't know how I come up with this stuff. You could say I'm like a real kid. And then again, I teach children, so I probably am. And we are putting a lot of different foliage on this, just to make sure that it looks really magical, because just mushrooms and some green looks pretty boring, yuck. So we are adding some more here, and just making sure that it all looks cohesive. We're adding a lot of plants, a lot of colors. We are missing some yellows though, so in a moment we are going to add some more yellow and some darker color as well, because it's pretty pink and red at the moment, especially with also the red mushrooms. And then with all the blue and everything. But we're gonna need some yellow, so we're adding these flowers in yellow. And I think that it really finishes the entire build. I mean, it looks nice this way. And I'm quite happy with it. And then, of course, we needed to find something for here. Now, I did find in the catalog the witch tree and the witch house. So I am looking for that. And I found the tree and the house. I just couldn't find it. But there we have, after some searching, we found it. And it's amazing, like I can just imagine like this being in a coaster and the witch just standing there like, oh yeah, I'm a witch. Now, again, I didn't fully understand the animatronics, because you don't have those in Planet Zoo. And you do have them in Planet Coaster, so, we're just trying to manage. And here we are adding some flowers and some bushes, because, she's a good witch. She's nice, she's gonna need some more flowers and all that stuff. Also a lot of lilies. We are adding a ridiculously amount of lilies. And we are going to completely sculpt the area around water, because it's not just going to be flat. There's actually going to be some mountains here. As you can see me creating them right there. And I really like the way that it looks. And in the end, we are going to roughen it up a little bit, because I want it to be like witchy mountains. So they have this little like weird shapes, and I absolutely adore the way that it looks. I feel like it looks so amazing and so, I don't know, just really witchy and fairy tale like. And that's what I wanted. And then we are gonna add some foliage, because we are in the woods. And in the woods there are trees, so they need to be added. And I love Planet Coaster, like it's a really good game and I quite like it. but the foliage in Planet Coaster, it falls a bit short. And that's probably because I've played Planet Zoo first, and Planet Zoo has a very, very wide variety of coasters and everything. Not coasters, wow, I'm saying coasters, I mean of plants and all that stuff, and the foliage. And Planet Coaster just has a little bit less, which is understandable and fine. I find myself scrolling for certain trees and I'm like, oh yeah, wait, we don't have that, never mind. Like, I guess I'm gonna have to search for something else. So here we are creating the woods around the witch's home. And we are using some very, very green trees. And then looking back at it, I thought, wow, this is way too green. So then we are also adding some orange trees and some red trees in it, just to give it some variation. Because otherwise, you know, go to the real woods, you wouldn't see only green trees. You would see some of them are green, some of them are a little bit darker green. And now in autumn, some of them are already bold, some of them have like orange leaves, yellow leaves, red leaves, you know, yada yada yada, the whole drill. You know the drill, you know what I'm talking about. Anywho. And I just imagine like the exit queue walking through this area, that would have been amazing. But you can't have it all, and that's fine, I can get over it. Next time I will just look up a little bit clearer how to do things before I embark myself on an adventure. But whatever. I have to say, all these foliage like placed at random, I love the way it all comes together, and I love the way it actually looks in the end. It looks really complete and really just fairy tale like, and I think this really sets the scene for the entire park. Now, I'm not quite sure how big I'm going to make this park. I'll just see and build and see where it ends. I don't think we're gonna do a full back-to-back park, but you know what, it is what it is. Also, sorry if sometimes the frame rate is a little bit laggy. It happens sometimes. I don't exactly know why, but you know, we're working on it. Let's just leave it at that. Like, I noticed that with editing as well. Sometimes the frame rate, it just drops, and I don't think it's actually my recording. I think it might be something in my editing software, but sometimes it's just very frame by frame, and then at other points it's not. So if that happens anytime during the video, I'm sorry. I usually check the entire video before I upload it, and then I make sure that it isn't somewhere like laggy or buggy. But if it is, I'm terribly sorry. So here we are making a mine. So I wanted this witch to go through a mine with all these diamonds, and then we're actually going to have this little bit of water on the ground as well, just to make sure that the sparkle is really there. And we're gonna add some old lanterns there. And I'm actually gonna use this this rock paint of terrain painted rocks, because it actually looked like gold. And then you have all the diamonds. I mean, look how sparkly and glittering it is. I absolutely love the way this looks in the dark. I mean, wow. We're also gonna add some little lanterns to the track parts. What do you call that? The supports. Just to make sure that you get a really shine on the coaster, but I cut it out because, you know, that's pretty basic. Anywho, right now we are making the final adjustments on our coaster, and then we are going for a ride. So, just gonna make steamy some effects, you know, you guys, you know the drill. So, I'm gonna take this time to thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you leave a like or a comment. It helps my channel grow, it helps the YouTube algorithm. And that means that I can grow my community the way that I want it. So that would mean a lot to me. If you have any feedback, let me know in the comments down below as well, so I can learn from that and I can see what your guys' take on that. And with that, we are going to ride this coaster, and I wish you a very good morning, afternoon, or an evening wherever you are. Bye guys.